here with Andrew Roddan from Powell River, BC, a trail builder and a realtor too, I guess. Bike rider.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. I've kind of started each one of these with the same question. If you could pick any one of your builds that you think most people would recognize, which one do you think that would be?
Probably Quickie. It's like a trail in Powell River. We didn't actually build the trail, but we built like a pretty big free ride line on it. That's probably what most people would recognize, like on social media and stuff.
Yeah, that's the one that starts out with like the big right hand hip.
Yeah, it's got like a couple good hips on it, and some nice step ups and stuff. It's pretty sweet. But it's got a whole section of trail like before you even get to those jumps.
Okay. I was hoping to come out and ride there and do this with you then, but that never ended up happening. So I've just been watching a shit ton of YouTube videos, trying to familiarize myself with the trails there. But that one looks sick. And it looks like it used to be like a DH-y kind of trail, and then you guys went in and rebuilt it into like more of the jumpy line that it is now.
Yeah, like a little bit of history, I guess, of like the area where we built here. Like there was only one trail. Like when I was first growing up, there was only one trail. It's called OG. That was built in like the early 2000s by a couple older guys in town here. And then Quickie was built in like 2013. A few of my friends helped out on it when we were like young teenagers, I guess. And then, like 10 years went by. Like I left town and came back. And nobody had really claimed that trail. So my friend Brian and I just sort of started digging on it and quickly transformed into like, it's just like a flowy jump line basically from top to bottom now.
Yeah, sweet. It looks sick. So you were born and raised in Powell River, hey?
Correct. I was born and raised here. You know, there wasn't really much of a bike scene when I was growing up. Like I started working in a bike shop when I was pretty young, like 14 years old. I started working in a bike shop and getting like more into riding as I got older. And then really got more into riding when I was living on the island. Like I moved there for university and then started working at a bike shop, and then dropped out of school and was just living the bike life for a long time, which eventually led me back to Powell River and to like a career change in real estate, which has been, pretty good.
That's awesome. So OG, that's like, is that the big long one? I was looking at it all on Trailforks, trying to wrap my head around it. That's like the long one from the top.
Civil Disobedience is like a trail that goes right from the top. It's a pretty long track. It's like more of like an endurance kind of ride, like adventure kind of ride, less of like downhill. Like there's still quite a bit of pedaling once you get up there.
Yeah.
But OG does start pretty close to the top. Like there's a few sections that aren't on Trailforks. But it's a good, like it's a DH lap for sure.
Cool. So growing up in Powell River, were you building the whole time or mostly just riding and digging a little bit, or?
Just like digging a little bit. Like when I was a little kid, like we always used to like build jumps and stuff in the woods, like near my parents' place. And just like grew up riding. Really, I got into riding more when I was a kid. Like every summer, my family would go to Hornby Island for a couple weeks, and just like we rented a piece of property there that we camped on, and the riding there was like awesome, like way better, like way more gravity riding than what we had in Powell River at the time. So like that kind of like gave me the itch a little bit when I was a kid.
Cool.
But really it was kind of always like biking on and off when I was younger. And it wasn't until I became an adult and moved away that I got really into the sport.
So your buddies that you dig with, you guys have a little gang called Mahony Mobsters.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah,
so who's that? Is that just your core digging crew out there?
Yeah, there's three of us that are the Mobsters. It's myself, my friend Kyle English, and my other buddy Brian Musalem. Brian and I are out there digging together like most of the time. You know, Kyle comes out quite a bit too, but mostly it's just been Brian and I slaving away. Kyle's got a young kid, so he's been pretty busy. We sort of started digging together like shortly after I moved back to town. So it's been like almost 4 years now. 4 years this spring.
Cool. 4 years since you've been back in Powell River digging.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys part of is there like a cycling club there that you're part of, or are you guys just?
There's a cycling association for like the whole area. And like, they're not just a trail association. Like they do everything from like, you know, bike lanes and stuff in town to like dealing with the trail sanctioning, but they put a lot of work in for like a few years sort of leading up to me moving back here, and even the first like year or so that I was living here, to get all the trails on Mahony sanctioned and turn it into like an actual network. And
Cool.
yeah, they did a ton of groundwork to sort of get some grant money and stuff so that we could have like a legit parking lot, and like built a machine built climb trail and stuff. And that's been like a huge bonus to our network. Cause before that, like when I first moved back to town, it was like, you're just parking on the side of a logging road, riding up the logging road. And that was kind of it. There wasn't really a lot of like maintenance or anything, even on most of the trails. Like you'd rarely even see anybody out there riding. And now it's like, yeah, every weekend the parking lot's full.
Yeah, it seems like the scene there is just incredible. I see so much about it there. It's like people call it the new Squamish, and like Squamish is fun, but don't get me wrong, I don't want to live there. It seems like a little more like low key where you guys are at.
Yeah, it's cool. It's pretty like similar. Like we don't have like the rock slabs and stuff like Squamish, but most of our terrain is like pretty similar. You know, like as the crow flies, we're really close to Squamish, so like the forest like looks the same, and like same kind of dirt and stuff. And yeah, it's amazing. Like the riding here all year round is just like incredible. Like it differs through the seasons, but like it's just always good.
Yeah, I'm jealous of you guys on the coast and the island area. Here it's just deep freeze mode, which is sweet. Like we do a bit of winter riding, but I can't do fuck all for digging. It's kind of annoying. Like I can go with a chainsaw a little bit, but like the ground is frozen, so I'm just picking at it. There's probably lots of guys out here that dig all winter long, but I'm just like, it's like kind of not super fun chipping away at frozen ground. So I kind of live vicariously through all you guys when I see you out digging. Like
we got like usually a couple good cold snaps through the winter, but it's pretty rare that like the ground gets hard enough that you can't dig.
Yeah, nice.
As long as you don't mind getting wet, it's not so bad.
Yeah, dank / lush. That's what I always tell myself when it's wet. Here it's like it's been like -20, and then it warmed up a bit and kind of teased me, and then it started snowing last night. I was like, whatever. So I'm kind of just in work mode right now.
Yeah, fair. What like what's the dirt like in the area where you build? Like is it pretty like, was it more like clay up in Kamloops or?
A little bit, yeah. Down in Kamloops, it's like glacial sediment, so it's like it feels like stacking with like snow almost. Like it's like stacking snowboard jumps. That's what Kamloops is kind of known for, is like the big booters and stuff. But I'm a bit higher elevation and kind of like out of the valley a bit, so it's a little more like interior forest kind of deal. So the dirt is still really good. It's a little rockier up where I am. There's nothing like the coast where you guys just have roots, and I saw a bit of rock slab, I think, in some of those YouTube videos. But here it's pretty it's kind of like that Kamloops dirt, but there's like a little bit more like trees and stuff. Have you ever seen the movie Strength in Numbers, like Narcroft, that trail?
Yeah.
I guess you've probably ridden it because you come here and ride a fair bit, I think, don't you?
Like only really ridden at Sun Peaks, actually. Like I haven't spent any time exploring Kamloops yet, but it's definitely on our list. Like my wife and I usually do at least like one good road trip a summer. And now she's getting more down to do some trail riding and explore some other areas. Usually we're just riding bike parks when we travel around. So I really haven't explored too much of like the Kamloops area.
I saw she got an e-bike too, so that might help.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I was not interested in trail riding too much till I got an e-bike. And then
she's been training a lot too, and she's going to be racing the whole Island Cup series this year. So her fitness has gotten way better, which is it makes it a lot more fun for us to ride together.
Okay, sick. I used to be fit too, and then I got in an excavator full time into a blob. So you're working as a realtor in Powell River. That's pretty awesome. Does that give you like a good lifestyle to dig, like lots of time? I have no idea how the hours must work.
I mean, like essentially I'm my own boss, right? So it's kind of dangerous. But no, all in all, it's great. I really enjoy it because I can be pretty flexible with my hours. Like I do spend a lot of time working, but especially this time of year, like two friends that I dig with, like they're both in construction, so they're stuck working during daylight hours, whereas I can, peace out for a few hours during the day and then maybe do some more work in the evening or something. So it's pretty nice through the winter that I can get out like when it's light out and not be always digging in the dark. Like we do a fair bit in the dark, but it's definitely nicer being out there in the daylight. Like some days we're out there, or like evenings we're out there in the dark digging, and then you come back a couple days later and you're like, this just doesn't look right. Like, I find it so difficult to shape things like the way you want them when it's dark.
Yeah, for sure. I've done dark digging a little bit, and it's like can't really get it quite how you want. Yeah. As a realtor, have you ever been like working on a trail and it's just not coming out right, and you're like, fuck? Have you ever worried it's going to drop the value of the houses or anything?
No, honestly, like it's honestly been a really good combo, because through all the trail building and like how much I post online and stuff about like what's going on here, it just keeps attracting more people. Like I actually get a lot of clients through social media. So like they see the riding and the digging and stuff that I'm doing out here, and they're like, whoa, like Powell River, like I didn't even know that, there was like a scene or anything. And so, yeah, I have like quite a few people from the Sea to Sky and like other places in BC that are like interested in moving here or have already made the move because of the riding, which is really cool.
Yeah, it seems like it goes hand in hand really well. You kind of have more roots in the community as a trail builder that way. So I feel like that would help you
absolutely.
I've been trying to get into, we've been like thinking about buying a house around here, and it's pretty expensive because there's only like a handful of them in this Whitecroft area where I'm at. So I'm just out here building the worst possible trails I can, lower those prices a bit. Maybe I'll get
Yeah, it's a good combo here because, Powell River is like pretty much the most affordable place on the coast, unless you go like really far north on the island. So yeah, when people discover that like there's good riding and they come here for a visit or something, they're like, damn, like this is the spot, because the riding's great and the community's awesome and you can afford a house. So
yeah, no, I was looking at it. I was like, maybe we should move.
Yeah,
it looks sweet there. I would, that'd be up on my list of places to live. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, you definitely got to come visit this season.
You guys are like an hour away from Coast Gravity too, aren't you? Or a couple hours?
Yeah, it's like a couple hours. Like there's 2 ferries to get to Powell River from the lower mainland. So you take a ferry from Horseshoe Bay to Gibsons, and then you drive from Gibsons north, and then you hit another ferry. So to get to Coast Gravity, it's like 2 to 3 hours.
Okay, still
the ferry's like just under an hour long. Yeah, it's a little bit of a voyage, but it's a pretty easy day trip. Like we go there usually like 5 to 10 times a season just to ride. And yeah, I mean, really that was like pretty big inspiration for sort of what we did with Quickie, because there wasn't really any bigger features and stuff here like when I moved to town, and we wanted something that we could like ride and be comfy year round on like bigger jumps. So then when the bike park's open and stuff, it's not like you're starting from square one again.
Yeah. It looks like a fun one to sesh. I like how everything's kind of like, it's not just like a straight line of jumps. It's like everything is flowing and arcing into each other. It looks like that kind of with all the trails you guys have built there. Like everything's very fluid.
For sure.
There's not a lot of just like straight down the hill or anything like that. Or don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with like having a section of straight jumps on a trail, but I really like that style you guys have. Like everything's curving, everything's hipping a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of that style has just come from like working with the terrain and like what's there. Like it's pretty, the trail that we built from scratch, like above Quickie, it's all super steep terrain. So you kind of got to like cut into the hill and then like, a bit of bench cut and then like step down, a lot of step downs. It's basically all step downs because it's a lot of elevation loss.
For sure.
And then like Quickie was like, the line was already established. So we're just kind of like, how can we like fit as many features as possible basically into this area? And just like working with the land, because everything we've built has obviously been by hand. And so trying to use like those gullies and stuff to not have to just build, like a jump standing there on its own, like try and build everything like into the slope and into the hillside to to just save ourselves a lot of work.
Yeah, totally.
And that's how it's turned out. Like Brian, my buddy there too, that we build together, he spent like 10 years just riding dirt jumps while he lived in the city. And so he's got like pretty strong like dirt jump roots. And so he likes building like steeper takeoffs and stuff, and likes the shark fins and the hips. And so a lot of that vision has come from him. And my vision has definitely sort of like, we tend to have a similar outlook on the trail to go now, as our styles have sort of like melded into one.
Nice. Yeah, it's fun building with like people with different visions, because like especially when you're close with them, with your buddies, and it just like it's better than building by your own. I thought it'd be cool to bring you on because everyone I've had so far like has all kind of done it as a job, and it's a lot of like excavation and that side. So you guys are kind of more of like the pure soul trail building, like out there by hand.
Yeah, I noticed that. I had to skim through the other shows you've done so far, and I was like, oh, I think I'm the only guy that's not like done this for a job.
Yeah. Well, it's like the true soul of trail building, like being out there. I try to do it as much as I can, but I totally understand what you're saying. Like now you're looking for like the gullies, any of that natural terrain that you can use to save yourself a bit. Like you don't want to be out when you're working against the terrain. It doesn't really like, I don't know, it doesn't seem to fit so much all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I just think like, what's the point? Like what you got.
Yeah, exactly.
And make the most of it. Yeah, it's been kind of a joke with us though, that we don't have any straight jumps.
Oh, really?
Like we keep trying to find a good spot to just like, we'd really like to build like a big like step up or something that's like straightforward. And every time we're like, oh yeah, I think this will be the one. And then it's like, no, it's always kind of got a bit of a turn to it.
Yeah, that's so funny because I have the same thing going on. Like my spot, I've been trying to find a spot to put just a normal trick step up, and I just can't find it. And like all the jumps there, I guess they are kind of straighter, but I just can't find somewhere to make a simple straight step up because everything is like curved, which I like. I'm happy about, but it is kind of tricky just finding like a normal straight jump, unless you're like stacking it with like a box frame, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah, it's tough. How did you find the zone where you build? Like, it's just near your place, or?
Yeah, it was when I lived here before, because I moved away for 6 years. And we went through like a bunch of different spots. Like there's like a gravel pit we had a trick step up in. And I think I've talked about it before. And then that one we just like were stumbling around. I think we were looking for firewood one day and we found this zone and it was just super rolly. And we're like, okay, this is the spot, and started digging. I don't know. I've been like looking for spots. There's not a lot of trails here. So I've been looking for spots kind of to put in some trails. So I've got that started too. And then like I have a job too. So it's hard to like have time to do all these things. So I'm always trying to be like, okay, I could build like another thing at the old jump spot, but it gets kind of old just like riding the same one trail. It's kind of like, feels like a blank slate where I'm at here, because there's not a whole bunch of stuff and there's not a huge scene of people building like outside the bike park up the road. I guess that's kind of like where you're at. Like must have felt like a bit of a blank slate. Like now you guys have done so much work that there's quite a network there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've pretty much just been working on the same, like we've got Quickie and then like another trail above it called Rogue Mahone. And basically we just spend all our time working on that line, like top to bottom. It just like consumes so much time. Like as soon as you start building features, it's like, you don't really have time to cut more fresh trail.
Yeah.
But there's been a few older guys in town that have started building more trails, and like through the process of like getting things sanctioned, like now it's like pretty streamlined for us to like apply to do more trails. So there's actually going to be like another 4 trails, I think, opening this spring.
Oh, wicked.
There's like quite a few that are in the works, but yeah, honestly, like our mountains still, it felt like a total blank slate when I first moved back here. And it's, a lot of area has like filled up over the last 4 years, but there's still so much terrain that's like untapped. And like there's kind of like 2 sides of the mountain, and most of like the building has been going on the one side, and like the side where we've got like Quickie and OG and those other trails that are like a bit more DHE, there's still so much like open terrain there that looks amazing. And like, yeah, there's definitely room for a lot more building in our area too.
Yeah, cool. Are those like Quickie and that other one you're working on? Do you know if those are like a north facing aspect or is that like a south?
They're like slightly more north.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because it's like
Yeah, they'd be.
super dank looking, like big cedars and moss and stuff. And I don't know if that's just because it's the area or north. Like we have one patch here that's cedar and lush like that, and the rest is just like fir, like interior grassland kind of. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say where the little north facing aspect that I build is, but that's like the one zone I'm always eyeing up because I'm like trying to find that almost coastal looking type terrain. It's
Yeah,
hard to
yeah. Here,
find.
I mean, here it definitely differs. Like the more south side of the mountain, like where like ferries wear boots and stuff. Like that trail is probably the most ridden trail on the mountain. And then there's like a few others that are getting built in that zone. It's like kind of rockier on that side, and like the trees are like maybe a little more open. Like the canopy is not like quite as thick. It's yeah, like you're saying, it's a little more fir trees and like some pine and stuff in the rocky areas. And then yeah, the side where OG and stuff is like OG has always been super dank because it's actually in a provincial park.
Okay.
So OG and Hush are like kind of right next to each other. They sort of run parallel. And yeah, they're both in the Inland Lake Provincial Park. And it covers like a huge area actually of the mountain. Not so much the area where we've been building. Like we call our area Mount Mahony, but it's actually like we're kind of like on the shoulder of the mountain. Like the actual summit is like on the other side of this like little kind of gully.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, like long term dream is to definitely one day like have a trail that goes from the actual summit all the way down to the lake. I think would be insane.
Nice. A big epic descent kind of ride.
Yeah, it's like just over 1,000 meters, I think, or like 1,100 meters, like at the summit. So you'd probably get about like 900 of descent,
Cool.
which would be yeah, pretty epic.
Did you guys build that ferries wear boots one too? Or is that like a
No, we didn't build that trail. That trail was built by a guy in town here, Chris Scott. And now he's been doing a lot of building actually for the cycling association. Like he was a contractor, and actually Brian and myself worked for him for a period of time.
cool?
And then he's gotten out of doing contracting as much and is mostly just doing trail building work, which is super cool. And yeah, he's been pretty active in like helping with a lot of the new trails that are getting built. But yeah, him and actually a guy, Wayne Goss. I don't know if you've ever heard
Oh
that
yeah,
name.
yeah. I remember that
Yeah,
name.
like old school guy. Super nice dude. Him and Chris built that trail together. And so yeah, I think like it's got quite a few like doubles and gaps and stuff that are kind of like side hits that I'm pretty sure were like Wayne was the vision behind most of that stuff.
I haven't heard the name Wayne
Yeah.
Goss for so long. His segment on the Kona Bass, I think that was Disorder 10 or 9. It was one of my favorite segments. That's sick to hear that he's still riding and digging because, yeah, I haven't heard that name for a while.
Yeah, he's been around. He was here for quite a few years, and then I think he's in Port Alberta. And so yeah, I know a few guys over there, and I'm like, you got to get him out building some more stuff because
Oh, yeah.
he's full of ideas.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what are your favorite things to ride around, like even outside of Powell River or in Powell River?
Outside of Powell River,
Maybe both. Let's
uh,
do favorite things to
yeah,
ride in Powell River and then outside of.
yeah, like in Powell River, mostly like I just ride literally our trail, like Rogue Mahone to Quickie. Like that's what I ride.
Nice.
Probably 9 out of 10 rides I ride Quickie.
That's the go-to.
and then there's I mean all the trails are pretty fun. Like I think we don't have like a huge network, but we've gone for like quality over quantity. And
Nice.
I did say there's a few more trails coming, but like yeah, even the new trails that are coming, like the quality looks really good. So yeah, I mean outside of like Quickie, it's kind of hard to pick like what my next favorite is. Like
Yeah,
they're all so good.
totally. Cool.
And then yeah, outside of Powell River, I mean, I love riding at Coast Gravity Park. Like we go there quite a bit, and like Roberts Creek and stuff. It's not that far from home. But that yeah, those are probably like my favorite places to ride outside of here. I mean, we did live in Whistler for a while too, and
Oh,
do
cool.
love a lot of the trail riding there. Definitely like took a lot of inspo from Green Therapy was definitely a lot of inspiration for our trail too. Just the way it's like so many features and like linking everything together. Like
Cool.
I love that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you got like your trails, you're always doing something. I've been hard on the YouTube. Like I watched that Remy Metallier video of you and Joanna. That one was sick. But yeah, I love how like you're always active and engaged on those trails that you guys have done.
Yeah, there's not much dead space. Like we started that trail as basically just a loamer, like we just kind of raked it in, and our process was to just sort of get a line so that we could ride it and sort of feel out what the terrain was going to be like where you've got speed and where like we could sort of fit some features in. And then yeah, I just started like slowly adding stuff like one feature at a time, and now it's getting pretty out of hand. It's like you barely have time
That's
to think. You got to just lock in and let the trail
yeah,
take you for a ride.
that's the best shit though. And I think that's flowy. Like I think that is flow, not like I don't know. I think if people start to hate flow trails these days because a lot of them seem to be like a machine built road, and then it's just like features imported from IKEA and placed onto the trail kind of feel. Like I'm not saying they're all like that, but I think that's what people think of flow trails. But like when I'm in a flow state on a trail, it's like not really has to do with like how the trail is built or what equipment. It's when I'm like engaged and everything just works and lines up. And
Yeah,
like
yeah, I totally agree.
that's I
It
think
doesn't
those are my
really,
favorite style of trails.
yeah, like it doesn't even need to be like all flow, you know, like it doesn't all have to be like buffed berms and whatnot for it to
Yeah,
like for a trail to have really good flow. Like it's more so just how the line kind of works. We've tried to keep some tech like in a few sections. There's a few spots with like some shoots and stuff like that, and I just love having as much like variety as possible.
totally.
Like it's
I think a
it's
lot of riders like that too. I think people are starting to realize they like that bit of that natural element in their trails. Like I think you guys have done a good job of it. From what I've seen, there's like jumps and like beautiful dirt work, and then all of a sudden you're into a rock face or a chute or like some roots and stuff. Like I like that style of mountain biking. That's awesome.
yeah. Yeah, to me that's like true like mountain biking. Like it's everything, you know? It's like it's the rock faces, it's the loam, it's jumps, berms, like you got to just have a mix, and when it all like comes together and works perfectly, like yeah, nothing beats it.
When you guys are building that style, are you like I guess Quickie was already a line that was there, so you probably were able to build features, then still like ride out on the existing old trail that was there as you were building it. On this new one, are you guys like cutting the line from start to finish, and then kind of going back and adding features as you go?
Yeah, yeah, that's yeah, I think maybe I touched on that a little before. Like we basically raked like a loamer in. And it was like just like a rake and ride. Definitely had like some sketchy spots. And then over time we sort of went back and like benched out sections and started adding features. And yeah, now we're at the point where there's pretty much no dead space on the whole trail.
Sick.
Probably the biggest project we undertook on that trail was the bridge we built last winter. That was absurd.
Is that the one with the little kicker at the end?
Yeah, it's like not a crazy
Yeah, that thing's
feature,
sick.
but like there was just a dead spot there in the trail. It was just like this flat kind of like bit of track to get to the next section, and we were like, oh, like what can we do that would make this like more exciting but not like crazy? Because you still kind of need that like few seconds to like catch your breath and like get some composure for like
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
coming next. And we're like, oh, we could just build like a bridge and make it more of like an art piece on the trail as opposed to like a gnarly feature. And yeah, it works great. Does exactly
Yeah,
what it's
that
supposed to do.
looks sick. All the split planks on it too. How many, if you were to guess, how many planks do you think are on that thing?
Oh shit, I don't know. A lot. I spent a lot of days splitting shakes for that.
Nice.
That was like a whole, we sort of like chipped away at it in sections over like a whole year. But yeah, there was a lot of wood to split for that bridge. I don't know how many shakes it was, but it's got to be like, I don't know, it's got to be close to 100 meters long, I think. I
Okay,
should
yeah,
probably
it's a big
measure
one.
it.
Pretty tall. If you're
It's tall,
standing
yeah.
beside it, where do you think it comes up to on you, like shoulder height?
Like, oh, at the highest spot, I can walk right under the stringers, like without hitting my head, and I'm 6'3". So
Sick.
I think it's about like 8 feet or so off the ground at the highest point.
I
So it's
love to
pretty
see a
tall.
good wood feature get built.
It's tall and it's like, it's skinny enough that you definitely still need to like be engaged. Like you can't turn your brain off, but but it's just
Yeah,
wide enough that like you can relax. Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I love seeing the wood features going on trails. For a while there, it seemed like they were like not really getting built or anything.
Yeah, I feel
Mountain
like
biking as a whole realized they were sick again.
yeah, I think a lot of that probably came from like the old school days when everything got hacked up on the shore. Like I think
Yeah,
it's something that people still kind of have apprehension around. It's definitely something we've talked about because our trail is like rogue, and it's like I don't know, you put so much effort into building something out of wood, and someone can destroy it in like 5 minutes with a chainsaw. Whereas like when you build
yeah.
something out of dirt, it's not going anywhere.
I destroyed one of my childhood wood builds. It was up above when I lived in Juniper as a kid. I had this zone that was above the water tower there, and it was this janky ass wood feature. It was like probably a 30-foot drop in the landing. You're just like, whoa, bang, like head into bars, like huge thing. And then it went into two, like a step down road gap and then a step up road gap because the road that it gapped over had like a turn in it.
Okay, yeah.
And after I got out of high school, I noticed like a lot of kids were going up there just to smoke weed and drink, and it turned into like a garbage dump. And so
Bummer.
3 years later, like no one was riding it, and it's just this garbage fucking thing. So I was like, you know what, I'm getting rid of it. No more. I don't know. I didn't mean to build like a weird party zone for kids to
Yeah,
leave
totally.
trash. So I cut that thing down. I don't know if it's still there because there's like houses and condos there now, but it might be in someone's backyard. This big fucking
Yeah, crazy.
chunk of wood or something. Yeah, everyone was like wood rots, but I don't think rotting is what takes out wood features. It's dead trees sometimes land on them and crush them, I
Yeah,
guess.
for sure. I mean, yeah, like we like all the wood features we got up here are pretty much all built out of cedar and they last a long time, like a real long
Oh
time.
yeah,
Like OG up until like last year still had some original woodwork on it that was like 20 years old. Like still
yeah,
going well, maybe not going strong because we they took it down, but it was still
yeah,
standing.
yeah. A lot of that stuff probably lasts longer than people's flow trails sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
An ancient piece of woodwork in the woods, and
Yeah.
you're still trusted enough to stand on it. That thing looks like it'll last a while though. That one you
I
guys
think it'll
built.
last a pretty long time. Yeah. Both Brian and Kyle, like they both work in construction. They're both carpenters. So had
Oh
some
yeah,
good help. Yeah.
yeah. They know how to keep it structural.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you guys
It's
done
pretty solid.
much wood features, or do you think that was the first big wood feature you guys did together?
Well, no, we did a couple others first. Like on Quickie, there's a big drop that's like, I think it's like about 15 feet tall. It's not like massive, but it's a good size. That was the first one we built. And it's a pretty solid build. It was a lot of woodwork, like not nearly as big as the one we did on Rogue, but still pretty good size. And then we built like another small kind of step down that's out of wood as well. So we had done two smaller projects before we took that one on. Yeah, that one was it was a lot of work.
Yeah,
It was a lot of
looks
work.
like it. Looks well worth it though.
It was worth it
My
for
buddy
sure.
Catlin built this big ass Catlin and Walker. They built this big ass feature in Revelstoke this summer.
Oh, I
It's
saw
called
that.
like Valmorphinizer. It's sweet because right beside it is the old one that they
Yeah.
replaced. Well, it's still standing there, the old one, and the new one is right to the right of it. The trail crew slash grooming boss Aaron at Revelstoke, he built the old one probably 20 years ago or maybe a bit older, but then they got funding or permission or whatever to build this new one beside it, and it's just such a like big honking wood thing in the forest.
Yeah. It's a
It's like
behemoth.
it looks so good.
They
It's
had like
like
an
one of the
elastic
first.
mill or something too, right? Like they milled a bunch of pretty big planks and
Yeah, I
stuff
think
for
he
that.
did that all freehand. I think he
Oh,
just has a
crazy.
big ass saw and he did that all freehand.
Crazy.
Yeah, he's a good mill guy. I don't know how much he likes to do it, but he always ends up being the guy that has to do it. But yeah, they did good on that feature. It took me a while to hit that thing. I was pretty scared of it at first, but then once you hit it, you're like, "Oh, this is sick."
Yeah, it
And
looks
you're like, "I
big.
just want more of
Yeah.
this."
Looks big,
It's
but
like,
such a nice build. Like, yeah, insane woodwork.
yeah. I think it's like cool to embrace what a scene is known for too, because Revi is like that rainforest type zone, kind of
Mhm.
like you guys on the coast. Like it's sweet seeing like woodwork and stuff get built because that's what the zones are known for, opposed to if you just like took a 8-ton excavator through the bush and like made it into a big road or
Yeah.
whatever. Which I mean, I'm sure that would fit somewhere in Powell River to have like a big flow trail, but I think it's more important to put in stuff that are like specific to that zone.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a machine in to like redo some of the stuff we've been working on, like the bottom part of Quickie is like a bit lower piece. Like that's the other thing too here. It's like it's real steep, like getting a machine into some areas like where we build just not really feasible, but it would definitely be nice to have a bit of help with a machine on some of the sections. Yeah, something we don't have yet is a road gap. You mentioned a road gap there where that
Oh
spot that you
yeah.
cut down, but yeah, I really want to find a good spot here to build a road gap, and they are going to be doing some logging on like around where Quickie is, and they're going to be reactivating a couple of roads, so I'm wondering if it might be a good opportunity. We'll see.
Nice. Yeah, more road gaps are good.
Yeah.
I'm also looking for a spot to build a road gap. Haven't really found it yet though. It's hard to find somewhere where there's a good run in, a good road, a good landing, but then also a good run out
Yeah.
where it doesn't either just keep plunging straight down a mountainside or go into like a crazy creek or ravine.
Yeah. Yeah, here we've just got a lot of
Hard.
trees.
Yeah, it's dense
It's
there, hey?
hard to, yeah, a lot of the forest is pretty dense, so it's kind of tricky to work around, which is yeah, another reason why things end up like twisting so much and we've got so many jumps that like are hipped slightly or whatever is because you're just like trying to avoid trees most of the time.
Totally. It kind of sets where the line's going to be is whenever it's hard to put big features in dense forests.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Unless you're willing to cut down a bunch of massive trees, which usually isn't the best thing to do.
Yeah, we've had like quite a bit of logging in the last couple of years and like they're doing a bunch more logging this winter. So um it'd be sweet to like get like a big jump line or something like in a slash or an area that's like been logged or like along the edge of a slash or something like that. But yeah, we'll see that so far like they were gonna do a machine built like flow trail, like a black flow trail. But they ended up postponing it because the zone where they were going to build it, all of a sudden they decided to log it this year. So they like sort of allocated the money that they were going to spend on that to like a few of these other trails. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we eventually get like a jump line.
Yeah.
The whole like funding side of like building trails is has been pretty interesting learning more about that, like being more involved with the like I sit on the subcommittee for Mount Mahony for like all the trail builders.
Okay.
So learning a lot more about like, yeah, sort of like where this money is coming from and then how we have to spend it. Cause like the association got a ton of money, but you had to like spend it within a certain time window. So we had a bunch of this money left over and it was kind of a bummer because we couldn't like save it and then like use it for maintenance and stuff down the road. It's like, no, you have to spend this on like building new trail. And so now
Yeah.
like some of the people that are on the board for the cycling association are trying to figure out how we get more funding to now maintain all of these trails that we've paid to have built.
New trails are sweet, but taking care of old trails is really sweet too.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, it's like it quickly gets away from you too. Like you build a couple trails and then it's like, holy shit, now I got to like take care of this. And,
Yeah.
for us, like for the mobsters, like we've just been working on the same thing over and over, but like other people like build a trail here, build a trail there. And then it's like, okay, now you've got like very quickly you end up with like 3, 4 trails and now you got to like take care of them all. And it's a big, it's a big undertaking. And they've been
Yeah.
sort of like how we've been divvying up the maintenance is like everyone that like built a trail, you're supposed to be like responsible for like maintaining it and like organizing people to like help you maintain it. But then now we've got all these trails that we've like paid to have built. So there's like sort of less, like nobody's really got ownership over them. So the cycling association is definitely gonna have to figure out how they're gonna do maintenance.
Because you guys do quite a few dig days, it looks like, but sometimes it's hard to get those to cover all the maintenance that needs to happen on a big trail
Yeah,
network.
like the association kind of does a handful every year. But I started running like some evening dig nights like last spring. So like I think we started in March, and those were great because we were getting maybe like anywhere from 7 to 15 people out, which is like kind of a good number to manage. Like sometimes on
To
the
manage,
big
yeah.
dig days, it's like you get like 50 people, and it's like you almost get less work done than you would have got with
Yeah.
10.
You get some hot shot kids starting to cut some weird jump somewhere and
Yeah.
you're like, no, 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 no.
But yeah, it's been good like sort of running like our own little kind of dig days like on the side of the association as opposed to like just through the association. And yeah, like you get 10 people out for 3 hours every week, like adds up really quickly. And it's amazing like how many more buckets and stuff you can move when you've got like 10 people digging instead of just two of us. Like most of the time it's just two of us.
Yeah,
The
totally.
contrast
I know
is
the feeling.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like usually the only one digging when I'm around here, but then it makes it feel like so much better when I have a buddy to help me.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, we're getting so much done now.
Yeah. Is there like other people that come and help you in your zone? Like, is there any other guys that ride there often, or are you kind of just on your own?
Yeah, we got a good like little scene here. Like probably the one guy that I build with the most, Corbin, he's down in New Zealand now for like a year or so.
Okay.
Just fine because it's winter. And then I have the crew of guys that I work with. We all kind of live close to each other. So we did cut like a big ass trail a couple of years ago together, and it was through like the biggest rat's nest forest ever, and it was in a really like hard to reach zone. So that one took a lot of motivation, but we were kind of like motivating each other because it was like during a heat spell too. It was like 40 degrees out, so we are
Oh
getting up at
man.
like 6 a.m. And it's in such a far spot. So we all have e-bikes, which makes life so much better. And then we also have chainsaws, so we could stash the chainsaws in a bag and just bring in like 3 batteries each. And
Nice.
so it's like even on the e-bike, it was like an hour pedal up to get there, and then you ride down to like as far as you've cut. You just cut as hard as you possibly can, and then you bike back up and out of it, and then back
Oh
down this
shit.
mountain, and then after a whole summer, we finally got it like cut through to the point where we could ride, at least get
Sweet.
through it. And then we went back, and like every time we ride it, we're gonna like kind of do some work to it, like as we go, get another 80 meters actually shaped in. Yeah, there's a good group of guys. I think we each have like other projects or other people we dig with in parts of the town. So when it's kind of rare to get everyone together on a project. So, and I think I'm just bad at like texting people. I kind of just like, oh, I got like a day free here. I'll go do that. And people are like, hey, why don't you invite me? I'm like, oh, fuck, sorry. I'm just whatever. Forgot.
I can definitely be bad at that too. That's why I started like organizing like a set day and time because yeah, with my schedule, it's like, oh, like I don't have any meetings this afternoon. Like I can sneak out for a couple hours of digging, and it's like, yeah, I'm not bothering to try and like round up some people to come with me. It's also hard to find people to come help us because a lot of people here like don't ride the stuff we build. Like there's only really a
Yeah.
handful of us that ride like the jumps on quickie in town. It's awesome to see like a lot of the younger kids now like getting more into riding, and like they're all like starting to hit those jumps and stuff, which is super sick. But yeah, like as far as like people in like our age group that ride, like most of them are pretty casual riders.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure those kids will get older and be out helping you guys as much as they possibly can eventually
Yeah, hopefully,
once
hopefully
they
some
get
of them
driver's
stick around
licenses
town.
and shit.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about inspirations and mentors? Do you have any guys that kind of taught you a bit about trail building or?
Honestly, nobody's taught me anything.
Yeah.
Kind of just went out and did it.
Yeah,
Figured it
that's
out
how
as
it
we
goes.
go. I mean, really, there's not like a lot to it. And if you spend enough time doing it, it's kind of like trial and error. It's like, oh shit, there's a puddle there
Yeah,
now.
common
Like, we should
sense.
probably change this. But like inspiration, definitely the coastal crew. Like I grew up watching their videos all the time and like seeing all their builds and stuff on the lower coast. And yeah, just like always like dreamed of like building something like that. And that's really what was a big factor for my wife and I moving back to Powell River, was like that it was such a blank slate here. And I was like, oh, I can get more into digging and finally like sort of put my stamp somewhere and like just build
Yeah.
something like sort of taking from some of those inspirations and just like my own creativity. So yeah, mostly the coastal crew. Like that's been my biggest inspiration. And like more recently too, like seeing like Ollie's jumps and stuff on the lower coast as
Yeah.
well. Like
Yeah.
that's a big inspiration. Like I feel like we
I think
finally
those
got.
have been some of the most inspirational jumps for everyone. Like now the moss and the rock work
Yeah,
is like taken off everywhere.
yeah,
So
totally.
I think he kind of like created a new style a
Yeah.
little bit.
It yeah, we're sort of like finally getting to the point with like some of our stuff that it's like we don't need to build it up too much more from where it is. So it's like now we can kind of make things look nicer. But yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah, the stuff that Ollie built is definitely yeah, big inspo as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly that old Coastal Crew video. I don't know what, I can't remember what movie it's from now, but the one with the X wall ride,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
video, I
That
have
was the
watched
first
that
thing that came to
video
mind.
probably 1,000 times. Like I've watched that video so many times, and every time it just gets me so stoked to dig and so stoked to ride. Like that's definitely
Yeah.
my
I
biggest
wonder
info.
how many kids that video inspired to go out and go dig.
Oh,
I
probably
remember
so
watching
many.
that and just being like, this is fucking mountain biking.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do.
Yeah, for
Go out
sure.
and dig.
And then yeah, like got to ride. Like Curtis was actually here, and he built one of the green trails for the network. So like we got to like take him riding and like ride all of our stuff with him, which was a super cool experience because yeah, he's like always looked up to him, and Dylan and like Evan too. He's messaged me a few times like, damn, like the stuff you guys are doing like looks incredible. And yeah, like hearing that from those people that you've like looked up to for so long is like so satisfying. Feels like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
like we're doing something good, you know, like especially
totally.
being here and like not having that many people to ride the stuff with. It's like kind of like a lot of people just think we're like crazy and they're like, why the hell are you doing this? Like nobody's going to ride this sort of thing. And so, yeah, to sort of have that to back it up is like, yeah, okay, we know what we're doing. And then, yeah, to have like Remy come and Mark Matthews as well. And like Bass came recently too. And he was like, oh man, I was not expecting to ride anything like this. Like, this is wild. Like, people are just always
Yeah.
so hyped when they finally get here.
Must be kind of like a justifying feeling to bring all these people kind of into the community after putting in so much work
Yeah,
on your
totally.
vision. That's awesome. I'd love to get some of those coastal crew guys on the podcast. I haven't even reached out to them yet, but I definitely should at some point
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
because I'd love to hear some of the history of that area and how their park came to be. But yeah, they definitely were a big inspiration for me. I think the one video that like made me go pick up a shovel as a kid and be like, okay, I want to start digging is the James Doerfling Vision video from 2007.
Okay.
It's a sick one, but there's one part of it where he's in like a big open kind of grassland field, and it was in Williams Lake, but it looked like Kamloops, and he just had a rhythm section of not dirt jumps, but like booters basically, and he's throwing like pendulums and threes on them, and I was like, that looks like kind of like the hills above me. I'm gonna go out and start doing that. So I think yeah, that was 2007. The song for it is Jukebox Hero too. So every time he does this like big three off a cliff and do a sand shoot, and it's just like Jukebox Hero. So that was like the moment where I was like, okay, like this is what I want to do.
Yeah, sweet.
That one.
Have you ever been up to Williams Lake to ride?
That's a funny question because one of my best friends lives there, and he's always like, dude, why'd you drive through and you didn't stop to ride? And I'm like, next time. I want to so bad. It almost looks like Kamloops in the early 2000s when there's just like trails and big free ride features everywhere. Like Williams Lake looks like that style of like not lawlessness, but just like
Yeah.
trails everywhere, builders everywhere. But yeah, no, I haven't ridden there, especially because it's like so close to me.
Yeah.
And my buddies there are always telling me to come ride, and I never do.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Like I've got a friend who moved up there not too long ago too, and he's like, "Yeah, man, you got to come check it out." Like, it looks crazy. Like, I mean, especially compared to here, the forest is just so open, and Like there's like areas where you're just like free ride like through the trees. Like it's insane.
Yeah. Big tick zone there. Do you guys have ticks down there on the coast?
Yeah, we have ticks. Like I've never gotten bit here, but like the dogs always get covered in them.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on the zone though. Like areas where it's like where there's like some bluffs and stuff like that are a little sunnier and like warmer spots, you usually get them. But like in the like dank woods, like not really at all.
Kamloops is bad for them, but like where I live, there's no ticks because it's high enough elevation.
Mm.
But I went to go hit this line like kind of outside of Williams Lake. I guess it was more towards Lillooet, but I was like, got out of my truck and within a minute they were like all fucking over me, like in my hat. And, like,
Gross.
I was with 3 buddies and we just got swarmed by them, and it was so fucked up. I used to be really afraid of them when I was a kid because I would just like get all fucking high and then go out to the woods and start dating and get swarmed by bugs. And it's like, yeah. I once had a tick biting me on the fucking head, and like I couldn't see it to pull it out properly. Like I was like, okay, I'll go to a clinic and get them to pull it out, but it was like an hour drive to get there. So I had cigarettes for some reason, like a buddy's cigarettes. So I just chain smoked them, and by the time I got to the clinic, the tick was dead from that.
Well, good trick, I guess.
But I've always wondered if they're there on the coast. But do you have any future dream builds for the area?
Yeah, well, I think I was explaining before how like where we build now, like the whole zone isn't really like Mount Mahony,
you
right?
said you want that.
Yeah, like it'd be so sweet. Like, yeah, definitely like the dream is to
Get one off the top.
some trail like off the top over there. But also like the trail we've been working on still isn't done. So I gotta finish that first. We've got like what we've got now of not quickie, but like the upper part, like it's basically like got 2 sections. Like it's got the first section that starts with the rock roll, and then you go across that little road and onto the bridge, and that's like the second section. So we've got like a whole other piece above those 2 that's like probably almost as long as those 2 sections put together, that we've been slowly chipping away at, but the access is difficult.
Yeah.
Hoping to steal my wife's e-bike a bit more this spring and get up there to punch it through. Yeah. Like you were saying before too, how that area you guys were digging in was like a lot of small trees, and it's kind of the same in this, not the whole zone. Like once you get through this band of like really tiny trees, it's like the forest really opens up and there's like some massive fir trees and really nice. Like it's not quite as steep as the lower section. The top part is quite steep and rocky, but then it like kind of mellows out a bit. And I think it's just going to be like, fast, flowy, loamy bit of trail. It looks pretty good, but we got to get through all the stumps first.
Oh yeah.
We've pretty much like cut a way through, but it's just like so many of these like little stumps. Like they're like all kind of like, I don't know, bit like from like the size of your thumb to like smaller than a water bottle, but just so like the whole ground is like covered in them. Like,
oh no,
it was like we were cutting all these little trees.
To be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, like literally we were cutting all these little trees and you couldn't even like get rid of them because like the forest was like so dense on both sides. Like you had to like cut stuff up into like little pieces and like shove it through all the branches on either side. It was painful, man.
Yeah, when you have like nowhere to shove them. I know the feeling. Like when you're in an excavator too, like, and there's like alder forests are really bad for it. Like when you're like crushing them, you're like, how do I even fucking get them out of here? And, like all you can really do is like chop them up into little bits and try to like drag those out. Yeah, I know the exact feeling you're talking about in the dense forest with a ton of trees, like little trees, not like big fuckers or anything.
Yeah, it's just this like one little, I don't know, it's like probably like a couple 100 feet of trail, and it's just this like band. Like the trail starts on like a bluff, so like it's going to be epic because you get like a huge like 180-degree view of like the ocean. Like you can see Vancouver Island and everything from the top, and it's beautiful. And then it's like kind of like starts with some rolly kind of rock rolls and then into this like steeper gnarly bit of rock, and then like below that like bluff area is like just this like band of like a couple 100 feet thick of these like tiny little trees. So once we get through that, it'll be good.
It looks sick there how you guys have like these rock bands in your zone, and it just goes from that into like a lush forest. And it looked like one of them went out into a clear cut, but it was still going. I think that was like Mock Looney, I
Yeah,
think was
yeah.
the trail that I saw.
Yeah, Mock Looney's a pretty cool trail. It comes off of Fairies Wear Boots, like about halfway down. And yeah, it's got a good little rock slab on it, and then you're like out into a slash. That guy's built
Nice.
a few trails, and like yeah, they're all super fun. Just
Yeah, yeah.
like more raw kind of style. Like he doesn't do a lot of dirt work. But they're really good. He just built a new trail actually called Up Your Bounty into an older trail he built called Bounty Hunter, and super fun. Like it's a really cool mix of like it's on the other side of the mountain from us, and it's like yeah, this really cool mix of like bedrock and like gold dirt and then loam the whole way down. He's got like some bridges and stuff, and no like jumps or like big features, but just like it's got like really
Yeah.
nice flow and like it's fast and fun.
The dirt looks so good there too. Like it's like that fluorescent gold dirt in places where
Yeah,
it's like glowing almost looking.
yeah, we're definitely super lucky with our like soil conditions. Like, oh, I said earlier, it's like pretty similar terrain to Squamish, but like, the dirt just
Yeah.
has it's like a lot sandier. And some areas are like there's pockets where it's like super sandy and it's kind of frustrating because stuff just like blows apart really
Yeah,
fast. But for the most part,
for
it's like a
sure.
pretty nice mix of like it's like just that perfect kind of ratio of like sand to clay, and it like yeah like sets up really nice, and like because it's so sandy it doesn't get like mucky, so like even in the winter time like
Okay.
the
Well,
loamy spots get like muddy and stuff, but like anywhere where we've done dirt work like the water drains really well because of how sandy it is, and it doesn't get like that sort of like slippy like clay feeling. Like the dirt is super grippy when it's wet, which like makes the riding in the wintertime like amazing. Like pretty much from I the summertime's like fun, but it's so scary here because it's like because it's so sandy, like everything starts to kind of break apart and gets like really, really loose.
okay.
But in the from like basically October all the way to like May, June, it's just like super good conditions with the exception of like a little bit of snow here and there.
Well, you might have me sold. I might have to come move there. Sounds
Yeah,
amazing.
man, you definitely got to make a trip.
Oh yeah, no, I think we were talking about doing a trip in the fall here. That
Yeah,
never happened, so I think we're gonna try for the spring or summer. Get down there and
nice.
check it out.
Yeah, definitely try and get like early spring is great. Like March, April is like probably when
Okay.
it's the best. Like once you get to May and June, it can be like sometimes you got good conditions and then but it like dries out pretty quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, like early spring is when it's like popping off, and like
Yeah.
all the
Okay.
building is
Good to know.
fresh and
So, what kind of tools are you guys rocking with? You got a couple saws for the woodwork, I'm
yeah,
guessing, and
mostly
do you have any like preference on those?
um no preference on saws, but like I mean most of the stuff we do is dirt, so like mostly I just use a pickaxe and a trail shark shovel. I
Oh, nice.
convinced the cycling association to buy us all trail shark shovels.
Yeah, nice.
Which is pretty good.
They make a
Oh dude,
difference.
they're
Fuck.
amazing. Yeah.
Like so much better on
Yeah,
your
night
back.
and day, like so much better on your back, and just like the way it packs is just so much better than like a regular shovel from the hardware store. Like I was a little skeptical before we got them, but then yeah, we went and picked them up from Ollie, actually on my stag weekend back in the spring, and yeah, they're like insane, like game changer. Like it's just so much easier to like get a nice finish. Like everything like is like shiny
Yeah.
when you're done. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when I was talking to him, like that was before I bought one, but I had tried people's and like I was at this point I was like I'm not super into slap packing. Like it's one of those things that's got to be
Yeah.
done and it like looks good, but like I hate doing it kind of thing. Like a lot of people love the slap packing, but I'm just like, okay, time to slap pack. But then I tried one of those things and I was like, holy shit, this is fun again. Like
Yeah.
I can stand in a nice position, like just the curved handle, and like yeah, they are expensive, but like it makes sense when you understand what he has to do to make them.
Oh,
Like he's
totally.
literally hand forging the things, and then I can't even imagine what it's like shipping shovels around the place. But Yeah, those are sweet.
Yeah, they're
It's
super
funny
nice.
to see like how like everyone kind of has one now, or like you see so many of them at Rampage and
Yeah.
stuff now.
Yeah, well, I had no idea how many he sold, and then he was like, he was numbering ours when we showed up, and actually, I got number 690, which is pretty good.
Oh, that's dope.
But I was like, damn, he sold a lot of these things. Like, I didn't realize like how many were out there. Like, that's pretty wild.
I bet you guys get looks at Rampage like, oh, you're showing up without a trail
Yeah.
shark.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I feel like there was like a bunch of like pushback for the first while. People were like, "Oh, like $200 for a shovel," but it's like, yeah, once you use it, you're like, "This is worth every penny." Like, especially being taller,
Yeah,
like you're saying
definitely.
about like so much nicer on your back. Like being a tall guy,
Yeah,
like having to bend over and like pack stuff. Like, oh yeah, my back is always so fucked up.
yeah. I have like one super tall shovel. I don't know how tall it is. Probably 6'5". Like it's a
Oh
massive
shit.
handle, but it's not like a trail shark. The head is super straight,
Uh,
so like I hate using it for. It's good if you're like trying to reach way up to like the
yeah, or
top of
maybe if you're
something and
like
slap.
standing on the top of a landing or a lip, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good for that kind of thing. It's not so good if you're like trying to get the inside of a berm or something like that. It is sick for like throwing dirt. Like if you
Oh
just want to
yeah,
launch dirt, you can chuck dirt super far with it. But it's also like some cheap like crap, so they always break. But whatever, another
yeah.
$20 at Princess Auto, you get another one. But the Trail Shark is like the real dream tool for
Yeah,
shaping and
absolutely.
finishing. I have this like Rogue hoe. I think they call it the Beast. It's like a triangle on one side
Mm.
and then a triangle axe on the other side. That's my favorite like cutting tool for
Yeah, I've
sure.
seen some of those
It's like
rogue hoes.
stashed way up on a mountain somewhere right
They
now.
look legit.
But those are like $150 too. So it's like, well, if you're willing to spend that much
Yeah,
on a pick, then like why not have a really good shaping tool like a
yeah,
shovel?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've just been rocking like a Fisker's pickaxe for the last few years, and yeah,
Yeah,
that thing goes pretty hard. I've
got a
yeah
few of
had a
those.
couple wood ones before and snapped a few handles, and then went to the Fiskars. It's been good to me.
I have this one pick, like Home Depot stocks them sometimes. It's like this fat scoop on the end of it, and it's so heavy that you can just like cut chunks of the earth out. But the downside is that it just like destroys your body as you use it. But that's a fun one if you're just looking to like excavate a hillside by hand. That thing does well, kills you.
Yeah,
That's for
yeah. What you
sure.
were saying, it's a little rockier too, like where you're building. Like, well, I mean, I see all the rock work. Like, you've got like the same kind of thing going on as Ollie too, with all the rock work. It looks unreal.
Not quite on his level, that's
It
for
looks
sure.
like it's
Mine's
getting
like a
there
little bit
though.
more like fucking throw it together. Yes, certain parts, but I like dislocated my shoulder a couple of years ago, so I was in a sling for a while, and it
uh,
was like just as the digging got good, and I was like, "Fuck, I need to dig." So I was like one hand like rock stacking because that was all I could do. So I did a bunch of rock stacking that year. Figured out how to like run my chainsaw one handed too. So I was just like carving mushrooms around the
oh
zone.
man, that guy that built Mock Looney, he built another trail here called Hand Solo, but like Hand Solo, not Hand Solo, because he had a shoulder injury as well and was in a sling, I think, and
Oh
he
no
he
way.
he built like a rake for himself that like he strapped to his forearm. So he literally built this whole section of trail with one hand.
Fuck yeah.
Pretty savage.
That's so sick. It's like you got to be outside to recover,
Yeah,
I
for
think.
sure. For sure.
It helps. Maybe like slamming into the earth isn't great if you're one handed slamming a
Yeah.
tool into the ground, but it's good for the soul,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Just being out there.
I probably delayed my recovery a few weeks by doing that. Other times I just don't have the patience for the aesthetics. I'm like, oh, I got all this work I need to get done, like just to make the thing right. It's hard to like go back and put that time into making everything look like I want it to look nice, but to
Yeah.
actually make it look like on that takes a ton of hours and patience that I just don't always
Oh,
have
totally.
available.
Totally. And I mean, it's like, it's definitely different when you're like, at least for us, like, we're like, oh, yeah, we want to make this thing look a certain way, or like, we want to tweak this feature more. But then it's like, man, you got like a whole trail with like another 40 features you got to work on. Like, it's hard to devote
Yeah,
so
totally.
much time to like just like making it look good when you're like, oh man, like I got to work on the next thing and then the next thing. And then it's like endless, really endless.
And at the end of the day, you're just flying through it at like
Yeah.
30 kilometers an
Yeah,
hour.
totally.
So it's more for like the pictures and stuff like that where it's worth putting that time in to make it
Yeah.
look good. Or climb trails too, I guess, because you're going slow enough to
Yeah.
look at it. I think I had that conversation with someone on here about making the climb trails look super pretty. Oh yeah, that was Ethan
Oh,
that I
nice.
did
Yeah.
that.
Um,
I used to hate climb trails, but now I don't mind them because it's like aesthetics
well, I
and
think they've gotten a lot better too over the years. Like, like
definitely.
climb trails used to be like, I feel like they were always kind of like a more challenging way to go. Like it was like if you wanted to just get to the top, you'd take the road, and like the climb trail was like kind of like more of a fun challenge for people. And it was like more about the whole ride. If you're like someone who is into riding the climb trail, it wasn't like you're just getting to the top to go down. But now with like all these grants and stuff and new trails popping up and being able to pay people to build them with machines and whatnot, it's like, yeah, you end up with these like beautiful trails that are nice grade the whole way, no like crazy steep switchbacks or like weird techie stuff. Like it's just like so much easier to pedal up, especially on like a long enduro bike. Some of those
Yeah,
climb
yeah.
trails that are like more old school, like get real challenging, like when you've got a long bike.
Totally. I don't know. There's some of my favorite things to build now is climb trails because you're just like focused on just building a nice
Yeah.
trail, nice grade. It's not so much about like, okay, does this work? Does it go into this perfectly? Like obviously it's still got to work, but it's almost just like the pure trail building opposed to adding a bunch of
Yeah.
features,
Yeah.
I guess.
Totally.
You can put features on them too. Like a skinny on a climb trail is a
Yeah.
wicked thing
Absolutely.
we figured out.
So do
Like sorry.
you run the snowcat in the wintertime, you're saying? And that so when the season changes,
Yeah.
like you're working up at Sun Peaks, like in the excavator or
At one point, I was on the Sun Peaks Trail Crew. I work for a company called Landmark in the
oh,
summer.
okay.
So I'm not even sure what my summer looks like this year, but for the most part, yeah, I've been back and forth between a few different bike parks like Revelstoke and with Landmark a
Yeah.
bit too. So yeah, in the winter, I seem to end up just being back in a snowcat, which is, it's hard to leave that job. It's just like the past like week, I've been working on this snow cross course thing, which is
Oh,
like
sweet.
kind of funny because everyone's like, oh, it's like you're building a bike trail, but it's like I would never build a bike trail like this. Or I have built bike trails like this, but I would never do that again. Just like giant 180
Yeah.
berms. And like they just had this like snowboard Canada race on it. So they had a bunch of like really sick, like gnarly
Cool.
features that were like on offs and like all these like intricate things. And now there's like a race for a bunch of older people coming up. So I've like had to mellow it all out and crush all these cool features into the most boring things. And then
What have been some of your like favorite projects you've worked on, like as a professional trail builder?
one we did, I guess 2 summers ago now, out in just outside Kamloops, Logan Lake. It was like this big burnt forest,
Oh,
and we put in a blue flow trail that kind of goes around the rim of this giant ravine. And it's like the fastest trail I've ever built. And it's like still like a really chill blue, but you can get going like 65 kilometers an hour.
damn.
But at the same time, it's like a really mellow, chill trail. And it's so funny because the local bike club named it. So it's the upper section's called Skid Mark and the bottom of it's called Hairy Ditch. I'm like, yeah, the best trail I've ever built, Hairy Ditch and Skid Mark.
That's amazing.
So that one would probably be like my highlight. And it was
Nice.
pretty fun because it was all like dead trees. So you can just like knock them and
Yeah,
they fall over
that's so cool.
or whatever. And it was like a really steep hillside. So you pop a big rock out and like you roll it down and you just watch it take out like 8 dead trees on the way down. Kind of interested to see what happens to that one like over the course of like a decade or two as this forest
Yeah.
grows back. Cause I'm like looking at all the stuff that has been growing back after the fire and it's more like deciduous trees like birch and stuff seems to
Yeah.
be popping up. So I wonder if one day it was a fir forest, but I wonder if it's going to come back as more of like a birch
Yeah,
forest,
interesting.
which is kind of cool.
Well, yeah, I don't know about the interior, but like here, it's like, yeah, usually the alders grow, they die, and then like all the coniferous trees like come through afterwards, like all the firs and cedars and stuff sort of grow through those canopies, and then I don't know if it's similar.
One day that'll be like maybe my children's
Yeah.
children will get to enjoy. Oh, they had a bunch of tree planters go in there and like plant trees, but they didn't look like they were doing
Yeah.
too well. Like there's like a bunch of cows that came through. I think they were
Oh,
eating the
yeah.
saplings and
Cows
stuff
are
like
savage.
that. But hopefully those things take. Every time we were like cutting a trail and we saw one of those, we would deliberately put the trail around it to not touch the
Yeah.
tree that they had planted. Make it so the drainage like goes towards it so that
Yeah.
it'll water it. We're like, please have a tree.
Do you guys deal with much
Anything.
logging and stuff like in the zone where you build? like near where you live?
Where I am, no. I do wonder if it'll get logged one day, and I'm like kind of accepted, like, oh, that'll
Yeah.
happen, like if it does, but hopefully it doesn't because it's like close enough to whatever houses and stuff like that. But there has been a lot of logging in the area. I don't think any of the zones I build in will get logged.
Yeah.
And then like all the professional stuff I do, it's not really too much of a worry because that's like on the bike clubs or whatever. Or if it's in a
Yeah.
bike park, it won't be. I've definitely like seen like Boulder Mountain in Revelstoke is a good example. Like when I lived in Revelstoke, that's like the local shuttle zone, and it's like pretty heavily logged mountain. And then like they're like new cut block coming, and it'll be like on a downhill trail, so everyone freaks out and gets upset about it. But I don't know, it's kind of just like the reality
Yeah.
of it. And even the coastal crew put out a video about logging like
Yeah,
years
I
ago, and
remember
it's
that.
like, yeah, sometimes it takes out a trail, but then it opens up all this terrain, it opens up
Yeah.
all this access, and bike clubs can make partnerships with the forest management, whatever. And so it's like a reality of trail building, I guess, that takes and it giveth,
Yeah.
I guess, in a
Yeah,
way.
we've been pretty lucky here. Like there's only like two, I think there's only two 10-year holders for like the logging on Mahoney. One is the local First Nation, and then the other is BC Timber Sales. And both like both have people that are like sort of involved in biking and like know what's going on, and they're pretty understanding of what we're doing, and like the trails like have such a like positive impact for the community and stuff that they want to like try and preserve as much as they can. So like Quickies all getting logged like all around it, but they're giving us like a pretty big buffer for the trail. I think it's like 30 meters or something,
Sick.
which is amazing. Like I was
Oh,
super
that's
stoked
awesome.
on that. Like yeah, the nation especially is like really like pro mountain biking. Like they're stoked to see how many people it brings to town, and like how many people like are out there like just like appreciating like nature and stuff more than they used to. So yeah, they're like pretty supportive of like what we're up to, but obviously like it still sucks. I mean, I'm curious to see like what it's going to look
Yeah,
like. Some and like I think some things will be
totally.
positive, like we'll have a lot more like light because it's like pretty dark sometimes in the winter down there, but also like storms and stuff, like you get a lot more windfall on the edge of like a cut block. So
Yeah,
it'll be
definitely.
interesting to see what that looks like. But
I think like nowadays a lot of loggers themselves are probably mountain bikers, so they care maybe a bit more than the old school dudes of the past. I saw a really good example of like logging on a bike trail in Revelstoke this summer. There's a trail called You Are Here that was through this like beautiful cedar forest, and they did some logging in it, and I think everyone was like, oh, it's going to be fucked, but they did, like, you could tell it had been logged, but they did such a good job with it. Like they left so much standing, and you could tell they took more out of other areas around the trail, but like the trail itself, like it almost improved the forest. Like it was like a little less dense, a little bit more open,
sweet.
but like they did such a good cleanup job. And I was like, I wonder if these loggers are mountain bikers, because like you could tell they cared a lot about what they did. Now I don't even like claim to know a lot about logging, how it works, but you can tell the difference. There's probably going to be some logger listening to this, like, you fucking idiot, you don't know what you're talking about. But
Yeah.
I used to, like, when I was like a teenager, I was like, fuck logging and like all this stuff. And now I'm like, no, it's like whatever, an industry that we have. And
Yeah, I mean it's like the access, like Coastal Crew talked about, like the access is huge. Like even like they did one small slash here like 2 winters ago, um that was like higher up on the mountain, and they hadn't logged anything like sort of higher up on the mountain in quite some time. And so they like completely like resurfaced the road all the way up there, and like just like totally changed like how we could like access like the area that we were building like up higher, like used to be like pretty difficult to get to. Like you kind of like we'd usually like park at the bottom of the trail and hike all the way up to whatever we were working on. And then when they did this like new cut block near it, it was awesome because now we can just like drive basically like halfway up the trail and then either like hike up or down from there depending on what we're working on. And it's just like saves you so much time and energy. Like that's definitely something
yeah,
I noticed like here in Powell River compared to like got lots of friends on the island and stuff that are into building, and they have terrible access because so much of the land is like private. Like here it's all like public land, but then like the lot like people own the trees to log. Whereas like on the island, it's like all like private land. Like Mosaic owns like a good portion of all the area that they log. So like all their roads are gated and everything. Like they barely got access to
Ooh,
build.
that's
Yeah.
annoying. Yeah, get the bolt cutters
Yeah.
out. No, I'm just kidding. One of the sickest things is when you're like on a trail in like a really big tree forest and you see like a stump with a foothold carved in it from like the
Oh
50s
yeah.
maybe, like
Yeah.
some
The
old
holes for
school
the
logging shit.
springboards.
I love seeing that. And you're like, oh, I didn't even know this forest got logged, but you're like, yeah, it definitely did at
Yeah,
one
we've got
point.
a
And
got
it
a
looks
lot of those
beautiful
around
now.
here.
Cool. Well, we could start wrapping her up a little bit. Do you listen to anything while you guys are digging? Any music or anything like that?
Uh I laughed. We have 3 dogs, and so it's pretty fucking loud most of the time.
Oh
Even if
yeah.
there's music on, you probably can't hear it. Like, so most of the time, it's
Yeah.
usually just like silence, but not actually silence. It's like 3 barking dogs for hours on end. I've got I've got
Yeah.
a he's a border collie Welsh Springer Spaniel, so like a little kind of cattle dog. And then Brian's got 2 dogs as well that are both herding dogs. So yeah, the 3 of them make a lot of noise. So usually there's no
Nice.
music, just dogs barking, which is
Oh
great
yeah.
when we're working on a trail that people ride frequently because they'll hear us well in
Yeah, they'll
advance. Yeah.
alert you. Nice. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm always like, oh, I wish I don't have dogs, but I always want to listen to music, but I can never bring a speaker or anything like that. Or like if I'm in an excavator, I have noise canceling headphones that are Bluetooth, but like I always end up breaking them or whatever. They get rained on and stuff like that. Ethan had a funny story. Like he thinks listening to music is superstitious, like something will go wrong if you listen to music. And so now I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be listening to music so much when I'm out digging.
Yeah, if I was
Right on.
alone, I think like, or if we like didn't have dogs, like, and you're out there listening to music, like, yeah, that would kind of like be freaky because you don't really have much awareness of your
Yeah.
surroundings, but it's definitely nice having the dog.
Yeah. If I wasn't in an excavator, I wouldn't want to have headphones on,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I had earplugs because the dogs are so loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting riled up. I was like fighting a bear all summer. I was out in Revelstoke building all summer, and there's this one little cinnamon bear, and he was just like the biggest bastard all year. Like I left my bike just sitting on the road above us, and well, no, first the bear like walked down the trail to us, and we kind of like scared it away or whatever. And I guess that pissed him off because he found my bike and he like bit the seat open, and it's a title seat, and it's funny. A buddy sent the picture to title, and they wanted the seat in their office, so I gave it to him to send to
Did
them.
they
So
give you a
it's like
new
this
one?
big bear mark. Yeah, they did actually. They hooked me up with a new seat for
Good
that. So I was
trick.
like, oh, sick. But then later, he a couple of days later, he like got into someone's bag, stole their lunch. Then like another day, he was like on top of our work truck, like someone got a picture of him on top of our work truck. He was just like following us down the mountain the whole time. I guess after he like
Yeah.
tasted the lunch, he knew where to find us. And then I was in this little 17, so it has like no cab around it, just a canopy. And my head's down working, and I look up, and the bear's like from me, like a couple meters away, trying to get
Oh
my
shit.
diesel can. So I just like drove towards him with the excavator, like fucking flapping the bucket all over the place and scared him
Well, they
off.
really like
And then
plastic and gas and stuff. Like it's weird. My dad used to
yeah,
manage like some of the logging camps up in Toba Inlet, and like all the time they were losing like quads and stuff. Like the grizzly bears would come and just like drag them off into the bush and like rip all the tires off, like rip all the seats to shreds and stuff. Like it's insane.
yeah, they're dicks, and they
Yeah.
love diesel for some reason. So can't be leaving diesel in the bush. But I thought it would be safe if it was like within a couple meters of me, and this guy was just not worried about that. He like, and I had headphones in and stuff too, so I was just jamming. And then I look up, and he's right there. I'm like, hey. Another morning, I'm like walking through the bush to get to where we were working. And same thing, I think it was a stupid move, but I had headphones in, and I look up and he's like right
man.
there. And my first instinct was just to like charge at him to try to scare him off, which worked. Then after I was like, well, that was stupid. That was kind of the last that we had to deal with him. But being out in the bush with headphones
Yeah,
in,
no.
not great. Like I have a speaker if I'm gonna
Yeah.
solo
Yeah,
dig, I guess.
we haven't had too many like wildlife encounters because of the dogs. We see a lot of wildlife.
Yeah,
There's like a pretty big herd of
that makes
elk.
sense.
that hang out on the mountain, which is like pretty
Oh,
cool.
sick.
And they're kind of scary though. Like they're fast, and when they run through the woods, it's like it's sketch. I almost got run over one day, like just biking like to where our trail is. There's like an old logging road that's like pretty treed in, and like I wasn't really expecting to see any elk, and I was just like biking, and then all of a sudden like two huge bulls just like ran right across the road in front of me, like literally like less than a meter away. Like, and yeah, we definitely get some like
Cool.
some kitties too. I don't know if they're bobcat or lynx here, but some smaller cats, and then cougars and stuff. I haven't had a cougar sighting in quite a while, but one of my buddies had to fight a cougar off on a trail here. I think it was last winter. He got into like a standoff with the cougar, like it charged him like multiple times. I would not want to be in that situation.
Those are the one things that freak me out.
Yeah.
Is the cougars. I've never really seen one up close, but like there's always sightings around here, and like I'll always end up digging solo too late, and then it's all dark and you're walking out of the bush. Like I try to keep a tool on me as if that's going to do something. Like I'm not going to kill it. Cougar with a fucking rake, but at least
you
like,
probably played it off with a rake.
I'm like, well, at least I'm not unarmed. Yeah, maybe if you could like jam it into its mouth at the right moment or something like that, jam it up its butt. Cougars are scary.
Yeah, we don't see like too many signs, but like quite often when it snows higher up on the mountain, like you'll see tracks like in the snow. And so they're definitely around. They're lurking. They're always watching.
Yeah. Do you have any shout outs or anything before we wrap this up?
I mentioned my buddies already. Maybe you got to get some of them on here too.
Yeah, totally. I got to figure it out. It would be fun to have like a bigger crew.
Yeah.
Or like a co-host or something would be sick to do with this podcast. I've been kind of slacking on this thing lately. Just like working and riding a bunch and like sending out messages to people. A lot of people kind of don't get back. That's fine. Maybe one day they will.
I think I mean it's rad. Like thanks for having me on. I think it's a really cool platform to like just kind of get more like trail builders like talking to one another and just like our like what we're up to and stuff, because I feel like so many of us are such hermits. Like we all just like go do our thing in the woods, like all alone, and like don't talk about it. Nobody says anything too, because they're like, oh, I don't want you to know what I'm working on. And so I love what you're doing with the podcast and like getting people to like talk about it more. And it'll be cool to see like what kind of community it builds in time.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's funny because like the only people that will be interested is trail builders, but at the same time, like most trail builders don't want to hear what any other trail builders have to say.
Yeah, there's definitely like I was saying, I sit on that subcommittee with the other trail builders, and I don't know, it's just funny. There's always like this sort of like just feeling of tension in the room when everyone's like together, because it's like I don't want you to say anything about my trail. I don't want you to say anything about my trail. Don't tell me how to do it.
Yeah, totally. You know, we are all stuck in our ways, and I think that's why it'll be kind of fun to talk about people, because we all do have our ways that we're so stubborn about, and you're never gonna like change someone's mind who does this. That's for sure. But you can at least hear their perspectives and be like, okay, well, that's pretty sick.
Well,
I like what you're doing there. So
especially those of us that like just do it for fun. Like there's definitely something kind of wrong with you that you're okay spending hours and hours of your free time just like digging in the woods. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
People that aren't into it, like they think there's something wrong with us.
Yeah, big time. All right, cool, man. Well, yeah, thank you for doing this. And I'll let you know, because I really do want to come down there and get some riding in. So, and let me know if you're ever around this way.
We'll have to do a little trade and ride each other's spots for sure.
All right, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Catch you later.